Peace in folks, how you doing? Use the force. Positive mental attitude. There we do. Happy Monday. So I woke up this morning and thought I'd have a nice little bit of light early morning watching before I got on with my day. And I've been following a guy recently. Now I'm gonna slightly hash up his name, but it's like Heiko or something. So it's spelt HEIKOKHOO. So yeah, pause that, rewind that, slap that into a search engine, go and have a little look. He's got a YouTube channel, and they do run a website of some description. I think he's called speakerscorner.net. I'm not sure, I haven't been there yet, but he's very interesting. He's been speaking out at like Speakers Corner in London in Hyde Park for like years, you know, and he's got videos on his YouTube channel of like 10, 11 plus years ago of him, like, you know, saying some really interesting things, and especially as the times we're in and what's happened, it's like, well, knowledge really is power, isn't it? You know. So something he said that inspired me for my video was he went to Speaker's Corner, maybe this was yesterday, yeah, it would have been because I was watching it this morning. He went to Speaker's Corner, and last week and the week before, and you know, a couple of weeks before, the old Bill were like attacking anyone who spoke out. You could be in the park, you could be there, as soon as you start speaking or whatever, and there was a lot of harassment. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I've seen a few videos. And basically what this is just inconsistencies for the severity of lockdown. Because like I've said, I've been like on the fence as to, you know, whether COVID was loose. You know, I knew it was a thing because when it all started, I went and did a little bit of searching, and, you know, it turned out that COVID's been known of, I think it was registered in 2012 or something, you know, something else was done again in 2014. You know, I found videos of the government at the House of Parliament saying that they'd been, you know, tracking it since like, for like 10 years or something. It had been genetically modified and all this stuff. So I knew it was there. I just wasn't sure whether it was out. You know, and so the more information you get, the more it seemed a little bit inconsistent with what it was and what the actions were being taken, right? You know, I've been for a while going on like inconsistencies. So this Heiko, or whatever his name is, he's half German, half Japanese, I think he said. As I said, haven't been following him that long, and you know, I struggle to remember some people's names that I've known for a long time. Not a long time. I'm shocking with getting names straight away, but you know, that's what it is. Anyway, I digress. So he's saying to this copper, you know, he was talking to the guy because, you know, when you go looking for, you know, sources of information, like I've said before, there's plenty of doctors that have been speaking out, and there's a large movement of people that believe that the virus was done with by like June. You know, according to people who have been studying numbers and blah blah, and you know what it all looks like and the percentages. You know, realistically, it's kind of been dropping since June, and here we are in the winter season, and you know, all the attention's on COVID, but you know, all the numbers are being flashed in people's faces. But anyway, I mean, the reason why I recommend people, right, this Heiko, right, is like, they're like a true well of knowledge. These people are like, I've got like scatty bits of information that aren't fully complete, you know, that I share, sort of thing. You know, I've watched a lot of stuff, but what I remember and what I can share is like piecey, right? Whereas, you know, a lot of people I recommend, it's like maybe they come from more of an academic standpoint, right? So their methods of learning and stuff are a lot more concrete, right? So they remember a lot more information than I would. So, you know, but I believe, you know, I can serve a purpose in the sense of just trying to broach that barrier between non-information and information. So therefore, like, you know, worldly awareness and not, right? You know, because if we want to move forward, we want to have like a clear vision on what's been happening, you know, past, present, you know, and the present again. So yeah, so he was just pointing out to this copper who couldn't deny and actually agreed with most of the things he was saying. It's the video, let me see which video, just so I can send you to it. Where are we? History. History. So this morning, yes, okay, so it was that one. So it was posted 6th of December. That was yesterday. Is it going to be his... No, it's the second video. If you were to go to his page, HeikoKhoo on YouTube, and let's just pop that up for you so you can see what I'm saying. Yeah, go there. Have a little butcher's hook. That man's well informed. Well informed. You know, and they say knowledge is power. You know, and then I say wisdom's what you do with it. So let's do stuff with it. Let's be wise. Oh, we don't need to be super clever and blah, blah, blah. But if we can be informed and objective, you know, so what they're, you know, what a large body of like professional people are saying is that the test for COVID is flawed, and they break it down. He breaks it down, right, beautifully, right? And so therefore any vaccine that could be presented for it would be flawed. And I know people are like, oh, you know, fucking, they think, or it seems to me that as soon as something gets to like either some national level of conspiracy or global level of conspiracy, a group of people all working to the same ends. That's all a conspiracy is, you know, say 5 people all planning to make these things happen. These things happen in life. A military coup is a conspiracy, and it's a theory until it's implemented or proved, right? So we understand how language is being used against us in some ways, not in every way, not everything's a conspiracy, but this society was built on indoctrinating and killing natives and indoctrinating them into this system. And then when you, this is why yesterday I said check out The Rise and Fall of Civilizations, because you can really see how these things happen. And so then you can understand how our society could be built. So then you can see when you're in the belly of the beast, your slavery is no different to that they're putting on the ones that they call the barbarians, right? So innately our society's sick, and that's a shame. But the beautiful thing is we can make it better. So if we can go and find people like Heiko, or whatever his name is, Heiko, you know, I'm butchering it. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Hopefully he'll probably never see this. I'm fucking nobody. Do you know what I mean? But you know, if I can get a few people to look at things, I'm winning. So you know, carry on I shall. But we can get that level of awareness. We can look at people like Bill Gates, and we can just naturally ask questions. If we get into naturally asking questions, right, we retrain our minds into, you know, we're told something, you're like, all right, check that out, all right, well, there's fors and against, as always. I don't, like, this is the thing about going and seeking information. This is what I talk about, objectivity, because for everything you can find a for, you can find an against. Pretty much. So then it's down to you to weigh up the for and the against objectively, but you can't properly do that, I would say. Like, it, you know, you can do what the fuck you like, right? But until you have, like, been looking through information objectively for some time and you're seeing a picture of society, you know, you can make your own judgments as you go. But, you know, it seems pretty obvious when you start digging to most people. You know, it's a reoccurring event. If you start digging, you'll see the reality of society, and you'll start saying things that a lot of other people say that you might not have agreed with until you knew things, until you had some information. So it's good to question Bill Gates, it's good to question the vaccines, and it's good to question the tests, and it's good to question where they came from and why, and who's backing it and who's not backing it, and why aren't they backing it, and why are they backing it, and then look into that a little bit, right? Because then you can be objective from an informed standpoint, and you don't need to be an academic to do that, right? I'm not an academic. I didn't get on with the school system. It wasn't made for me. You know, whatever. Like, there's many people that don't get on with the school system, and that's a good thing. And there's many people that do, and that's also a good thing. It's just what we then choose to do with it, because what it leads us to isn't something quite as nice as what we might hope. You know, when a society needs to exist based on the suppression and oppression of others, you can't call it civil. And we can't pretend like it's okay. It's all easy to ignore the harshnesses at home, pretending like we're in the height of civilization. And we're destroying the planet with our technology. Yeah, you want to see the things that the fucking Aztecs did, that the Mayans did, that the fucking Chinese did way back, like the Japanese did way back. And it didn't need to hurt the planet to be effective when they built the pyramids. I'm pretty sure they weren't hurting the planet, because we can't figure out how to do it, because we're using destructive forces, and we've got a destructive psychology that's been taught to us. So humankind is not sick. We are not the cancer on Earth. Quite the opposite. But this is reality, right? So we can be a cancer if we choose. And at the moment, we're choosing to, because we've been led there, and it all's a bit blurry, right? But more and more people are choosing to say, no, we're readdressing this. So it's good to find reasons to talk, because it's good to talk, right? And go find some people, you know, go find some reasons to get informed. And like I said, be objective. We know what the mainstream normally says, so that's easy. But when you're not sure of a mainstream narrative, make sure you go check it. I've been watching the fucking Christian Crusades, for God's sake. I don't want to do that. But it's important. It's important to go, all right, I'm going to have a look at things I know nothing about, or that I don't even agree with, right? I'm more likely to be against Christianity than I was going to be against, you know, some other religions. But most of them could just do with a tweak and stop their dominant side. Who the fuck are you to dominate anyone? Do you know what I'm saying? Who is anyone to dominate anyone? We can have organisation without domination, and I believe that in my soul of souls. Otherwise I wouldn't be speaking. We can really do it, but we are going to have to ask questions of ourselves. We are going to have to get a bit of information ourselves, otherwise we're not going to make good decisions. If we keep appointing leaders, we keep giving our choice and our freedom to someone else, and that is the problem, because more of us wouldn't go to war than the ones that would. So there would be less war. There may be some, but there would be less. You can't eradicate, but you can limit evil. What a beautiful place to end it, as we're up on that time, my friends. So use the force, positive mental attitude, be kind with your thoughts to yourselves like you would to others. Keep loving your hearts for yourselves like you would for others, and let's get it. Get what, John? awareness, of course. Peace in.